One very important test that distinguishes the difference between an aldehyde and a ketone is the Benedict's test. So let's take a look at how the Benedict's test works. We start out with some Benedict's reagent, which is a mixture of different compounds. The thing that we're most interested in, though, is the copper 2 ion, which is bright blue. If we add this Benedict's reagent to an aldehyde, the aldehyde is able to undergo oxidation and turn into a carboxylic acid. What this does is it reduces that copper 2 ion into a copper 1 ion, forming copper 1 oxide, which is a completely different color. It's a dark red color. So we know we have an aldehyde present if we get that dark red color. Now let's see what happens if we add Benedict's reagent to a ketone. Now remember, ketones cannot undergo oxidation, so we aren't able to reduce that copper 2 ion. And because we aren't able to reduce that copper 2 ion, it stays blue. So we get a positive Benedict's test if our solution turns red, and a negative test if our solution stays blue. Now the cool thing about this test is that it can actually be used as a quantitative test as well. The more aldehyde you have, the more it progresses from blue to green to yellow to orange to red. Because glucose is an aldehyde, this is a very common test for the presence and quantity of glucose in a solution. One of the downfalls of using this test is that it can produce some false negatives. For example, aromatic aldehydes do not tend to react with Benedict's. It works best with simple, straight-chained, or branched aldehydes, like glucose. So let's start the lab. I've already put in 1.5 to 2 mils of Benedict's solution. I added water to the first test tube. I'm going to add my ethanol or acetaldehyde to the second test tube, my benzaldehyde to the third test tube, and I'm just adding 5 to 10 drops of each. It doesn't really matter. We're doing a very qualitative test today. Then I will add acetone to my fourth test tube and cyclohexanone to the last test tube. I'm going to heat these in a hot water bath for about 5 minutes, and then we will examine the results at the end.